Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game week 10. 1-0. We are 10 weeks into the season. Welcome to Added Time. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching, viewing, subscribing.
Double digits.
Double digits.
Double digits.
Have we been doing it for that long?
Yes. 10 game weeks means 10 podcasts, bro.
I think 9 because we started a week after.
No, but then we did a Chelsea one. Yeah.
Yeah, the Chelsea one never saw the light of day. Still need to do that one. Anyway.
It was too much swearing.
There was a little bit of a rant session. We'll have to make another platform for that. Anyway. So, weekend news. We have to start off with Chelsea performance, as we always do. How do you feel? Some people call it luck.
Others people call it failure to capitalize on. I don't want to talk too much about that because I'll just get angry. And then
it's annoying.
Things that I regret.
Yeah, it's annoying because we were happy with the draw. And then we went 2-0 up. And then we threw the game. Which is why it's annoying. We should
Listen, I've been spoiled as a Chelsea supporter because I started supporting them in 2008 when John Terry slipped in that Champions League final. After that, before that, I didn't really pay attention to football. And that was like the moment that I decided to support Chelsea. But since I've been supporting Chelsea, we've never been a team to settle for a draw, settle for fighting for top 4 and an FA Cup. And this was the game that was supposed to say we are still not that team. And this was the game that showed us all our decisions, the mediocre players we buy for high prices, the manager we've hired that hasn't actually proved his success with meaningful trophies, the ownership who are the Cowboys from America. All of that is culminated in us we've finally lost what Mourinho instilled in us all those years ago. But the Mourinho team does not do that. And the legacy he left behind meant that the Chelsea mentality does not do that. We do not slip a 2-0 lead to Arsenal. Okay? Like, there's been moments in our history when we have slipped leads. Fair. That's fair. But this was not one of those moments. This was not one of those freak accidents. We gave the game away. It wasn't Van Persie scoring a hat trick and me going, I hate Van Persie and admire him for the rest of my life, because there was a game where we were losing to Arsenal quite a few years back. We were leading them 2-0 and Van Persie scores a hat trick and wins.
I remember that, yeah.
5-3.
Yeah, 5-3, yeah.
So this wasn't that game.
But can you pinpoint the problem in that game? Like, can you say it's Sanchez?
No. Okay, goalkeeper can make a mistake. But you still should be able to shut up shop. The mistake, as I was trying to tell you,
we gave them too much space
over WhatsApp. It's not even that. The mistake is mentality. Now, obviously, if mentality isn't right of the team, it's not an individual player, but it might be the whole team. And who does that fault belong to? Todd Bowley, for spending that amount of money on putting a team together who are going to take years and years to click. And I'm sorry, but there's some players in that team like that have ridiculous amounts of price, and for the money we've paid, should be doing better. Should be able to hold a 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
Okay? And yes, you can say we'll learn from this and we'll grow next season. But you putting all your eggs in a basket here, that's because it's not look like Arsenal's going to slow down. But Bukayo Saka's not going to wake up next season and go, meh, I'm done. We lucky right now that Man City is slowing down because they've done it all. They just won the treble. I'm not surprised that they're not at the races.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if you have a team of players that have won everything and are less hungry, they are going to eventually have a little bit of a slump before they pull themselves back up again.
Yeah.
And they have to rebuild their team, but from the top. So I'm not surprised at that. Arsenal's not sleeping. Liverpool's not sleeping. Aston Villa and Newcastle aren't sleeping. Man United are not going to sleep. So yeah, let's turn this into a Chelsea podcast. But let me end it by saying this: I had my best game week in many years.
94 points. Process.
And most of the players I'm not that impressed with, because
it came down to your captain.
Well, we decided last week, and we can talk about captains a little later. Let's start with captains. Let's flip things. Let's start with captains. Captain, my captain.
Not
We said
Haaland anymore.
Captain Salah. We said Salah was the best captain. Son was an injury risk, and Haaland is not firing. Both of us didn't go with Salah. We both took risks. Please explain to the viewers out there and to your friend why Nate the Great decided to captain Haaland with his 8-pointer versus Salah. What possessed
Okay,
you?
so Haaland returned, just not as much as Salah. Let's agree on that. All right, he did return. Okay, why I decided to captain him over Salah? I felt like he was due some goals. That's all. And I think just from his history, he would blank 1 or 2 game weeks and then come back and score a hat trick because that's how Haaland operates. So I just took a gamble and thought that might happen. Clearly it didn't.
Is this? I'm not trusting you with my money. You're gonna go gamble. Are you gambling our shirt money for our prize pot in the FPL?
You can trust me because I do the opposite of what I say I'm going to do, and what I say I'm going to do is always normally right. So, but no, I mean, it was a gamble. I knew everyone was going to be captain in Son or Salah, so I thought, let me captain Haaland, let me make some points if I can. And it wasn't the worst thing at the end of the day. I mean, I shot up to 4th place. I'm tied 3rd technically. 10 points off the lead, so it's not that much.
In our mini league, just by the way.
Yeah, mini league. And you're 10 points off of me, so we're 20 points off of... You're 20 points off the lead because of your phenomenal 94-pointer, Mike the
I
Great.
will never forget the season where I was 100 points behind you, and I clawed back to win that season. And all I did was try and beat you by 10 points every game week.
Don't make me disconnect from the podcast.
And that was starting at game week 30 or 28. So in 10 game weeks, I did that. So I'm not worried about 10, 20 points. It's when you're 100 points or more behind that you got to go like, what am I doing? It's not taking
but I know how to close out a season now. I've got 3 wins under my belt. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But captain choices on your topic for this week. I assume we're going to all say Salah just based off the form that he's in and who Liverpool are playing.
Well, here's the thing. If you asked me why I captained Son over Salah, which wasn't a bad decision because it was short 2 points, the truth was that I basically went Son blanked last game week 9.
So surely you should score 8. This game week.
So if I captained him twice over 2 game weeks, he might repay the favor. And I was worried about what would happen in that Liverpool game versus Everton. And let's be honest now. Penalty for the first goal, and that whole game, Everton actually did a good job of controlling Liverpool. So it wasn't like Liverpool won because Everton were rubbish. Like sometimes they normally are a little bit weak, but this game they actually pulled it together. But the penalty swung it in Liverpool's favor, and Salah, with Everton chasing the game for a draw, was able to. So I'm just saying this could have easily been a Salah blank. It could have been a 0-0. It could have been someone else tapping in a last-minute goal. Whereas with Son, I always felt that him in that striker position, the media, this is why you should always wait for the media, the team news from the manager, said Son was fine. Remember we spoke about Son being potentially injured?
Yeah.
It came out that Son was fine. So I kept my captain on Son. Now I know you're saying Captain Salah this weekend. Liverpool are playing Nottingham Forest on Sunday.
At home.
Yes. One of the reasons why I got 94 points, just to everyone out there, was I noticed that every single one of my starting 11 players were all playing at home. And that's why I did so well. And so Liverpool playing at home against Forest is good. Remember, Chelsea played Forest at home and we lost.
I don't want to talk about Chelsea.
So I'm just saying, I'm wary. And
so what? Watkins, Luton at home.
Well, I'm not captaining Haaland because I feel like Man United might win that game. Because we'll talk about him next. I think we can talk about Super Scott, McTominay.
Yeah, for some reason, people still have Fernandes and Rashford, but we'll get to that.
Those are the people.
At least I saw the
ladies. If there's any ladies out there,
you stay away from those men.
No. Oh. If you find someone who has Fernandes and Rashford in their team, those are the people that you should marry.
Oh, because they keep
through thick and thin, for better or for worse, till death do us part. Those are the people. Okay, lady. I don't know what ladies are listening, but if you want to marry someone, check the FPL team. I have a potential captain choice that is outside of those top three. Watkins versus Luton.
Mm. I think he
Watkins,
might be more common than you think.
I know, but he's outside our top three that we normally discuss.
Salah's Haaland, yeah.
Watkins, because Watkins is on fire. Aston Villa is on fire. They have won. They have scored 33 goals in their last 11 home games. That is 3 goals a game.
Well, they've won 6 out of the last 9 Premier League games. Well, out of the
So
season, they've won 6 games.
statistically,
I'd also just like to
know
point out, sorry, last thing, is that Watkins went from 7.9 to 8.3 in the space of a week.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna have to bring him in, right? And this is what I wanted your advice for. Everyone out there, shoot me a shot here and tell me what to do because I
Hey,
can't fit
man,
Watkins in because I
Alvarez.
have Trippier.
And, well, there you go.
I'm not taking out Trippier. You
Well, I'm not
crazy?
bringing him in. He's now 7 million. Good
Yeah, but
lord.
he's also he is
He's the
the
Trent
player.
Alexander-Arnold of 2-3 years ago.
He's the player that's gonna help me beat you this season because you
And
didn't jump
Watkins
on
is
him.
going to make me the player that stays ahead of you this season.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe.
Which is
But we'll
why
see. But I like it.
with City is not her best form, even though like Haaland isn't firing all cylinders. He's still too dangerous to leave out of your team, in my opinion.
It's currently
So
at 86%. Yeah.
if I'm going to get rid of anybody for Watkins, unfortunately, it has to be Alvarez. And if there's any week to do it, I have to do it this week. Because if Watkins scores another hat trick this week, I'm going to kick myself.
Well, segue into transfer plans. So you planning to do one move, no negatives, or what?
No, I might have to do two. I have the 2 transfers.
Oh, you do have
So
2 free transfers.
I'll have to do what Alvarez out and possibly find some more funds to forward
You
Watkins.
see why I'm such a big advocate of saving a transfer. Look at this. Look at how much space you have. It's amazing. 2 transfers.
Yeah, but it only works because I had such a good game week last week without making any changes.
Well, I told
Because
you
we
not to make
plan ahead.
changes. That's it. You plan for these 2-3 weeks in advance. On your transfer changes, I'm doing something controversial. I'm taking out Son.
Ooh. You son of a... Why are you taking out Son? He's a striker, but as a midfielder on FPL right now, he's second or third in points. He is firing on all cylinders. He's trusted by his manager. He hardworking. He doesn't give up. I don't understand your logic. Why not Madison?
My
A
logic,
lot of people talking about Madison out. Why not Madison out?
number 1,
Defensive.
funds for my plan.
Yeah.
Number 2, Madison will not score as much as Son, but he'll still score points. So I think he's still fine. So here's why I'm taking out Son. There's 2 players I'm bringing in, and I need to fund the move. I'm taking out Son and Neto to bring in Matoma and Saka.
Oh, Saka.
Let me start with Matoma, the lesser of the 2 evils. Matoma has been blanked for the last 3 weeks. But if you look at his fixtures, they do a swing. This Man City game was their last one. Also with March being injured, I see them playing off Matoma's side more. Or March isn't injured, sorry, he's suspended. All right? Yeah, he's suspended. So, and then not a lot of people have the Brighton essence yet, and I think this is the train. Remember we said a few weeks ago, stay away from Brighton because of their dip, and then maybe revisit them? This is me revisiting them. So we'll see what Matoma can do. And I think he's a better pick over Neto. It's because Wolves are Wolves, even though Neto got an assist. But yeah, then the Saka pick. Let me talk to you about that. The reason why I'm taking out Son is because I feel like I can get more points from Saka and Matoma for the price of Son. And I can have more players playing for the price of Son. So it's a tactical depth move, if anything. That makes sense.
So the way I would logic it is if I look at Son's fixtures, would you captain Son over any of the next 6 fixtures over Salah and over Haaland? if you can answer that question and say no, then you are doing the right thing. And I think you are going to say that because all of the Spurs' next fixtures, maybe aside from the Wolves, even the Wolves one is away. Aston Villa is rough. West Ham is rough. So you are right. Up the next 6 game weeks for Spurs are tough.
He's
And
not
I
within
don't
the
see
captain plan. Yeah.
No, he's not. So you were doing the right thing. So well done for picking up on that. After that West Ham game though, it's got Forest and Everton, Brighton, Bournemouth. So there may be an opportunity to bring Son back in, but
for
you
sure.
may be hitting the right decision sooner rather than later, which is good. So well up on that.
It could also shoot me in the foot. It's not like it's gonna happen. That's the idea.
It's a gamble, but it's a safer gamble. Like you
Yeah, it's calculated because you're getting 2 players for 1. Surely you get, if not equal returns.
Because if you look at Saka's fixtures, like it's kind of better than Spurs. Remember I was talking about the home thing? We got Sheffield and Burnley and Wolves
at home.
Okay, over the next 5 game weeks. This is and Luton at away though, but still those.
I think Arsenal's draw to Chelsea is gonna give them a bit of a kick in the arse, make them wake up.
Kick in the Arsenal, but Arsenal. The thing is, they are also playing midweek fixtures, so we should keep that in mind. And also, one of the criticisms against Arsenal and also Arteta is that he's playing injured players that are not 100% fit.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Saka had his best game.
He's copying Pep. That's why De Bruyne is out for 6 years. Just by the way.
I don't think Saka had his best game against Chelsea, and part of that reason is because he's not fit. Now, if he's going to continue playing Saka like some
FIFA career mode,
sweatshop worker kid who's just worked until they're broken, right? If he's going to keep on doing that, is Saka the choice going forward? Because with Arsenal having some better options like Odegaard sometimes,
Martinelli,
and Odegaard also seems to be sharing penalty duties, so you can't even say Saka's always on pens. So just stuff to keep your eye on, ladies and gentlemen.
And this transfer, I have the funds for it. I have 0.1 after this to fund a price rise, but I'm going to wait until the latest possible to hear team news and Postecoglou's announcement.
Me too. Like we spoke last week about Tsimikas. He went up.
Wish you were married Tsimikas. I want to say our Diaby decision with doubling up on Aston Villa was a bit of a flop. That's on me. Diaby's not been good.
Diaby was my way of getting closer to Watkins without having Watkins. So I had a reasoning behind mine. And if Aston Villa score 4 goals, and
Diaby's not involved in
Diaby
one.
doesn't get assist or a goal, you know what? That's just bad luck. Yeah. Because I've seen Diaby play, and he plays almost like up front, as close to Watkins as possible. The fact that he did not get on that score sheet is hurtful. It's hurtful.
I'll tell you what hurts me more is because I was weighing up him or Bowen. And Bowen has been popping off. Yeah.
Yeah, but last 3 game weeks, Bowen's 9-8. So yeah, you kind of stuffed up there. And Bowen is also going to a nice run of fixtures now. Ooh, Bowen's got Everton, Brentford, Forest, Burnley, Palace, Spurs, and Fulham. Then Wolves. So up until Christmas,
and 5 of those are home games.
Bowen has a run.
I know. So what I might end up doing is probably. So this is the thing. It's either Son out for Mitoma and Saka, Son and Neto, or it's Maddison and Diaby out for Bowen and Mitoma. So it's both moves I think are good. It's just about which might be the better one.
We're at the point now in FPL where you can't just take the top 5 players from each section.
Category, yeah.
You can't just do that. You have to actually go and make some choices that are going to affect you. So I think the things you're thinking about are pretty good, but the reality is you're not going to put Trippier in your team. So I'm going to captain Trippier every week and hope for the best.
The reality is if I take out Son, I'm not bringing him back in for a while because he's 9.5. That's the reality.
Which means that for me, like I know I have a little inside information. Knowing you're not taking Sun, does that mean I hold Sun to kind of differentiate between you? Hope for a little bit of luck and try and like shoot past you, or do I, knowing you taking out Sun, do I take the calculated risk of also taking out of Sun and trying to keep pace with you? What would you do if you were in my position and you knew that I was taking out Sun? Would you take out Sun?
If I knew you were going to take out Sun, and I already had plans to take out Sun,
But if we didn't have plans to take out Sun,
I think I would have probably just held on to him.
are you trying to
Because
use reverse psychology on me?
no. Like if so, I'll cut and paste this. Let me just quickly pull up your team and just see from your
Right.
perspective and explain to you. Yes, this 94 points is thick in my face. Yeah.
All about the money.
So if you were going to take out Sun, who would? Okay, I just know you're taking out Sun. Let's just say that. So if I'm looking at your team, Diaby, you're probably taking out Sun to fund, I don't know, a Saka.
Watkins.
You're probably doing a double
That
transfer. If
first.
you're taking out Sun, you're probably doing a double transfer.
Maybe a triple because the points I made, I take out Sun and
You take out
Diaby
Sun,
and
you put in take out Sun, Alvarez, Diaby, you put in Matoma, Saka, and Watkins. Holy shit. I just gave you your next plan for the new. Or Bowen instead of Diaby. This is what I was going to say for my next pick is I could just take out Diaby for Bowen and take out Neto or Cole Palmer.
Ooh, Palmer went up also. You missed that one.
But there is someone that I want to bring your attention to.
Who's
Is
this?
Simon Adingra. Adingra?
Adringa, I think.
Adingra. I read
Is
it.
it Adringa?
Adingra.
I've been saying Adringa.
With Molly March, Solly March, Molly Starch, Starch Molly, Solly Starch. No? Anyway, with him being out, Adingra is going to be starting, is he not? 5 mil, worth a gamble, maybe, if you're looking
He's
for a way
playing
in.
up front. He seems to be playing quite wide. If you wanted to not go Matoma, sure.
So this is the thing. So here's my options. Do I go Neto out for Adingra and Diaby out for Bowen? Why are you smiling?
I think I'm sold on Bones fixtures. I'm just annoyed because if I go Saka, Matoma, and Watkins, it fits to the
I know.
dollar.
What did I just say?
To the dollar. But then I'm holding on Gordon and Trippier to be differentials against you. So.
And thus, our intertwining journeys realign to the same point of players because we all have the same midfield. We all have Salah, Madison, Mitoma, Saka, and Diaby.
I will have Gordon over Diaby.
Oh, yeah. No, you'll have both.
And I'll have...
No. You're going to do Mitoma. Yeah. And then our front three, Watkins, Haaland, and Archer.
Yeah. But I'll have Trippier and you'll have Bowen.
Anderson, Burn, Udogi, Cash. I have Anderson, you have Trippier. Would you have Anderson?
And I'll have Gordon and you'll have
Diaby,
extra fees for Diaby.
So it's a good move, those three.
Looks like I'm putting my money into Newcastle. The story of the season. They're going to finish third or fourth. They're going to go to the semi-finals of the Champions League.
Can they pull a Leicester? Can they pull a Leicester City and win?
Nah. This is
Can Aston Villa pull a Leicester City and win the Premier League?
The title's either going to City, Arsenal, or dare I say it, Spurs.
How dare thou? Oof. So a lot to think about. A lot of different avenues where we can take this.
Let's just pinpoint some games over the weekend that you're looking at might be interesting points. We already spoke about Liverpool versus Forest for Salah as a whole, as a captain. We've said that Aston Villa and Watkins could score big against Luton at home, or Aston Villa at home to Luton. You saying that Matoma is a pick for this week against Fulham?
100%.
Without a Stupinan?
Without March.
With their poor form at the moment. They did win last week, but...
Well, I'm going off the logic is that they
lost.
they do some form. They lost badly to Villa. They drew
They
to
lost to
drew to
City.
Poole and they lost to City. Yeah.
I guess losing one goal to City and drawing to Liverpool actually shows them climbing, because those are good results for them, I would say.
And I would argue the 6-1 loss to Aston Villa was just Aston Villa being on a different type of bread formula.
The different type of bread.
The bread in England, bro.
That Woolworths bread.
None of that checkers shit, bro. I'm all about that whole grain Woolworths bread.
So, Arsenal versus Sheffield is why you're targeting Saka.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you now, Brentford's going to beat Chelsea because now that Buemo is back in form. I'm not surprised.
I don't think Chelsea's going to win until they sort out Sanchez's issue. That's not able to kick a ball properly. That's where I'm at.
Also, it's the first game on Saturday. Lunchtime kickoff means you have to eat spaghetti bolognese for breakfast. So,
oh, that's the thing.
Yeah. So those are some key games. Bowen versus Everton could be another one you want to target. But the big game of the weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and special mention
derby. Sorry, premature.
to yeah, no, that's good.
Special
It's
mention
going to be
to
fire. Oh, well, I just wanted to say rest in peace to Bobby Charlton, the Manchester United hero, legend,
that happened
leader,
over the weekend.
The guy who led England to their one and only World Cup, which is not an easy feat, even with all the stars that we have now. It was very not emotional for me as a non-supporter, but just appreciated them paying homage to a great of football and us having to not have lived through the beginning of his career, but trying to see what he did at United as a he behind the scenes key figure in making the Premier League and United that powerhouse in the 90s. That is the reason why my friends support Man United, which is the reason why I support Chelsea, which is the reason why soccer is so big in South Africa. So I know it's why do we care, Bobby Charlton, blah blah blah. He's a big deal, and respect to the man. Condolences to his family, and I was listening to them talking about him. He was in that plane disaster.
Really?
He was pulled out of the plane disaster by the goalkeeper. He survived, and he was pulled out, and he went on to do all those amazing things.
That's insane.
So and still went on to do what he did. It's like you can almost you really have to say he's in. There's a reason why he's Sir Bobby Charlton. He's in the same category of Sir Alex Ferguson in terms of the impact he has at Man United. So I just wanted to mention him because I think that's pretty cool. That not that he's dead, but that is that the impact he had, and and we get to see the end of that, being alive when he sort of passes on. So I wouldn't be surprised if that Spurs or Man United, like I said, to beat City, because City are not at the races this season. Not saying Haaland's
I mean,
not going to
if anything is going to be a catalyst for that event, it's going to be that situation that happened. So.
And Trafford at home, and Scott McTominay, I would not bring him into my FPL team because he's going to blank at some point. Actually, Man United won this week, and guess who scored? No.
He did score.
No, I mean, guess who scored in the midweek fixture against Copenhagen?
What, Fernandes?
No.
I didn't watch Man United games. I apologize. Sorry, fans. Who? Rashford.
Show me the money, Mr. Maguire.
No way.
He scored the other winning goal for that game.
Oh, Maguire.
So, I actually, there's a lot of hate he gets. Even my kids sing his name because he's a joke on the internet.
Or Maguire.
However, as a professional, I feel bad for him. As a soccer player, I have always liked him. I wished he was with Chelsea from when he was at Hull City. I don't think that he plays his play style suited at Man United. He suited at Hull because at some point he was this defender that went up and tried to score goals. He was running up as the second striker sometimes. And then he went to Leicester and he had that same sort of freedom. And then he went to United, and the pressure at United is such that you can't just leave your position and do the thing that that he enjoys doing the best,
Mm.
which, to be honest, is not always just defending. And I feel like at the time when he could have gone to Chelsea after Hull City, I think he would have done well. I think there's a lot of time, but I don't think it'll work now. But it's just it's a pity, and I like to see the revitalization of his career, and I solid for him. I wish that he goes to West Ham in January or next season,
I
and
think
I
he'd do
hope
well
that
at
he's.
West Ham, eh?
I think he should establish himself as an English, especially if he's going to continue this controversy of playing for the England team. He needs to go to West Ham or somewhere like that. He needs to play every week. He needs to show his skill and go back to his old form, and then continue doing what he does for England on the good side.
Yeah.
I don't want to see this whole people slating him at England because he's not playing at Man United, which is fair. I just don't want to see that anymore. And the only way
Yeah.
to fix that is he
Yeah.
has to leave. He's got to go.
I mean, and to think about it, as bad, quote unquote, as you play, still had to get there. So he's clearly got talent some way. He just needs to get it back, work a bit harder. But he said this. He said he's going to just work harder.
Yeah. It's not going to work at Man United. He's going to work at. It's going to work at another team. So
I like
let him go to
Ham.
West Ham.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
They do go to West Ham, and you think of players like Declan Rice and how he sort of established himself there, or Bowen is establishing himself there, or even Mark Noble, right? Those are
Actually, yeah.
you think about those player name like Mark Noble, Maguire should be there. And just by the way, we've just entered added time.
I was waiting for that.
Time. Go. I'll never. And this is why I'm telling you. I know I haven't been to another match, but that was the best part of that football match I watched in real life when they went to added time.
And they
I
said
thought about our podcast, but it was like 7 to 9 minutes of added time, and the entire added time you're sitting like this because you don't know what's going to happen, right? So I don't know what's the take in our added time.
I just wanted to shout out every single Premier League announcer for plugging our podcast every 90 minutes during the weekend.
It's amazing the reach we have.
I know, it's incredible.
Every single country, every single word is saying we've entered added time.
It's on national television. It's like all over the place.
It's amazing.
Where's the brand deals? Rugby.
Did the Proteas win their match? The Proteas first?
Well, Proteas cricket team, as I know it. Yes, we demolished England. We ended up with 399 runs. So 400 runs to win. Yeah. And we bowled England out for 172. Something ridiculous like that. So fair play. And then the Springboks go and beat them in the rugby. So all in all, good weekend for South Africa sport.
Hey, all those people listening in England, the English are looking at South Africans and thinking
one of my friends that immigrated to the UK, quick side story, he immigrated during the time of the last World Cup, and South Africa knocked out England, and they made him work outside for the whole week because he works in machinery, so there's in the factory and there's some outside work. They made him work outside for the whole week because he was South African. So funny. But we played bad, rugby-wise. Hopefully we play better.
No, that's fine. That's perfect. You got to play. Sometimes you got to get the
dirty results out.
Yeah, shake out the ugly, shake out the noisies, and come stuff them up. Sorry, I know this is not a rugby podcast, but between South Africa and New Zealand, we've won 5 out of the last World Cups, including this one.
Yeah, I mean, if people have made it this far anyway, fair play.
So the rest of the world's looking at South Africa and New Zealand and going, "What's the point? What's the point of rocking up to the World Cup? It's either
if it's just going to be these two." Yeah, fair.
And literally, we both in the final, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, back to soccer.
Well, big weekend. Yeah, big weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Will Trippier trip up Nate the Great? Will this son of a Nate be sacrificed by his selection of stealing and swapping out Son for Saka? I hope you're stealing these headlines, bro.
YouTube.
And what kind with Watkins? We're going to find out.
That's too good. That's too good. Well, I think that's that. I think we made it within added time.
Yeah,
we didn't go to penalties.
This is one of those ones where the referee blows the whistle and he's like, "Time's up. You're gone." And then we're looking at the watch and we're like, we could have had another 5 minutes. Oh, you know where we can end up discussing? So we're looking at players, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hot take. We've already had so many hot
Nando's
takes.
take. Hot. Spicy.
Let's go back to Chelsea just to end things off. Is there a reason to go to any Chelsea assets? And if you were, who would you go for?
So this is why I was saying, like, would you call it luck? Because Cole Palmer's penalty conversion only happened by a controversial handball. Mudrik's goal, as much as he says he looked at the keeper, he looked at the keeper, but like for like less than a split second. So I mean, if that was quick enough for him to make a legit decision to go for the goal, fair play. He did say the goalie coach from Chelsea said, "Watch Raya, he likes to come off his line." So, I mean, fair play. I don't think you bring him in yet. I think you still stick with Sterling if you have him. But Cole Palmer would be a good alternative for 5 million. I did say he was going to go up, and he did. I mean, it was inevitable, but
Cole Palmer is a beast.
He's the best thing we have at Chelsea.
He's a student of Pep. He's coming in and he's owning it at Chelsea, and he easily could have had another goal, except for the Chelsea curse, because if the ball can go either side of the post, it goes out.
And Gallagher's good as well. Gallagher, but
Gallagher,
like he's not a player to put in the FPL team, but he's a player you need in your squad for real life. Gallagher is insane.
You say, if you were going to choose a Chelsea asset right now to take a punt on, you're going with
Palmer over Sterling. Yeah,
not Madrid.
Sorry, Misha, not today.
Aye. It's okay. Call
one
it
day.
luck.
Hopefully
call
one
it
day.
Fate, Call it karma. Everything happens.
You mean call it Palmer? What'd you say?
Call it luck, call it fate, call it Palmer. Everything happens for a reason. But that's all for today. So thank you guys for listening. We'll chat to you again next week. Same time, same place.
You know it.
Depends when you listen.
Same time, same place, multiple platforms.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, like Mike said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for lending us your ears and time over this long FPL journey.